말 먹어볼까?
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. How are we doing today? Hope everything's going alright. It is Big Monday after all. Let me move my mic here a little bit, because it wouldn't be a stream of mine if I didn't have to monkey around with something. Let me actually turn this up a little bit. I can move up the audio a little bit too. It's been a little bit since we played some Limbus, and I was trying to think of what I would like to do today for stream, as I am quite beat. I was working quite a bit of overtime today. Been working a lot of overtime in general lately. Dandy, very cool. W Corp IDs, and as you guys may have known, I do very much like W Corp. I've run them before on the channel. Those were in a video format though, I believe, not streaming. And I was like, that would be kind of cool. It was a kind of a mix between that and doing some other gacha dailies, like Girls Frontline 2. And Stellasaura, actually, a buddy of mine recommended a game called Stellasaura to me. I've been very gradually getting into that. It's kind of cool. But I decided on Limbus, just because I knew it's something I wanted to play. It was like that, or maybe Vampire Survivors or Death Must Die. If you haven't played Murder on the Warp Express in Limbus 2, do it. The hard stages are out, so you can get a bunch of rewards and stuff. It's really nice. Which we'll be hitting up. Well, I'll be hitting up at some point. Let's see. So, with the new warp IDs, I did already... That is Ishmael? No. I did already get our boy Heathcliff. And then I've got enough, I think, to get the brick. Merceau. The French brick. Yeah. And I had some extra boxes too.
주신다면 안내해드리겠습니다.
Very casual look on his uptie 1 splash art. I don't dislike it though, it's kind of cool. But it kind of feels more like a Zwei Core, not Zwei, Zwei Association uptie 1, like with all the undercover ones. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get these guys uptight. Actually, what I'm going to do, because I've still got a couple of these. Let's go here. And spoilers, by the way, for their uptie stories. If that's something that you care about, because I will be looking at them. As you can tell, I recently got the newer Otis Trimmer ID. She's pretty cool. I ran her in a mirror dungeon lately. Actually, over the weekend. Just look at him, always devoted to his work without a single complaint. You should be more like him, is what this child most likely wanted to say, but they held their mouths shut. They then moved to a different topic. You know what? Don't model yourself after him. Honestly, not a good look either. Regardless, the child silently focused on his own task. Possessed of a tall physique and cold eyes, the child stays impassive as if he weren't the subject of the conversation nearby, in spite of the fact that his ears weren't plugged or impaired. Yo, you should at least say something. His lack of reaction seemed to bother the grousing child. That's when he, the tall child, finally returned that gaze and started talking. I don't believe a reply was demanded of me. Still, come on, dude. Are you really just gonna sit there even when someone's shit-talking you? So long as no direct harm is done to you. And just like that, the child returned to his work. The belly-aching child kept on sending a cold glare, but it won't reach him. That was a very short upside story, but also very Merceau, so I suppose that's fine. Let's see how Heathcliff's is. let's see, where is this icon? There we are. And then it should be this one, right? Yeah. Let's see what he's got going on. Confirming. Railway status unobstructed. 5 minutes left until train arrival is announced at the platform. Agents on site, please complete the cleanup ASAP. Your attention, please. 5 minutes left until... Whew. In the last car of a warp train, a few cleanup agents stood facing an unknown fixer who was armed to the teeth with workshop-made gears. An azure-sheen blade, glowing with energy, emerged from the child's elbow, that's cool, and pierced through the fixer's heart. The child let out a pale breath of relief as he deactivated his overcharged gauntlet. That's the gear she's been using in it. Looks workshop made. Don't these cost a fortune like? By the way, I'm not even going to pretend to do a British accent. I'll spare both you and myself that. The child shot an irritated glance at the floor, where a glove made of high-grade material lay. A hand, severed at the wrist, would have been a more appropriate term than a glove. Not that it mattered. The child was more interested in the piece of equipment that clearly was not standard issue, even at first sight. I can tell from the serial number that's one of the Quality Workshop's top-tier products. Quality Workshop? Not sure what that is, but you're saying it's fancy stuff, yeah? Now I can see why she was so bloody strong. What grade was she again? Let's see. The ID card in her wallet says grade 4. Hey, not bad. That fucking hand there's a grade 4? 10 seconds in name, but millennia in actuality, was enough time to turn every passenger aboard the train into rampaging maniacs. The miracles of modern transportation. Madness, however, comes in different forms. Some passengers long for death, flaying themselves and painting the walls with their own flesh and blood, while others continue to fight back without a moment's respite, even after they have completely fallen into insanity. Blimey, what's a grade 4 been up to all this time? To be given this much grief, even with the CCA on. First time I've been pushed like this. Didn't you? Was when I had to nip out and give that class 5 lads a hand. How's that the same, huh? I suppose today wasn't exactly a walk in the park for you. You had to clean up on your own after all. Huh? What's that? Something unusual about her? Whoa, she's accumulated so many penalty points. Probably enough to demote her from her original fixer grade. Nothing unusual then, just another bloody stowaway. Penalty points? Check. Contract papers? Check. She was a grade 2 fixer just a few... Jesus Christ, that was a grade 2. A grade 2 fixer just a few days back. By heck, no wonder the last was such a handful. Which, by the way, quick aside for you guys, if you don't know how fixers work, fixers are kind of like mercs in, like sanctioned mercs in the world of the Limbus. And they are graded with the bottommost being grade 9, the topmost being grade 1, and then a special grade above grade 1, where you get given a color designation. Which, if I'm assuming you're vaguely familiar with Limbus, or the world of Project Moon in general of the city, but you know, for instance, the Red Mist, or Scarlet Gaze, or Red Gaze, or let's see, there was the Vermilion Cross, the Indigo Elder, stuff like that. You just get to be, you get to have a fancy title because you're just that fucking cool. But these guys, grade 2, no joke. Really, once you crest, I would say grade 7, you're going to be a handful to deal with, probably. I mean, grade 2 would probably trounce a grade 7, you know what I mean? But for the average person, dealing with anything above a grade 8 is going to be a fascinating experience, let's say. Back in W Corp's heyday, the term stowaway referred to freeloaders who would either get on the warp train without tickets, or occupy first-class seats using economy-class tickets. Today, however, the meaning of the word was somewhat changed. Oh dear, my cat is My cat is causing noise. I do apologize. People used to travel on the warp train only 3 or 4 times a year at most. A luxury easily afforded by wealthy citizens who preferred the first-class seats. But when passengers began to go missing and one accident followed another, demand took a dive, until people avoided first-class seats like the plague, in spite of W Corp's promotion and encouragement. These rich ones are so tight. Would it kill them just to buy a first-class ticket? I don't think the price difference between economy and first class really matters, but the bad rumors are not helping. What doesn't matter? You know what? Never mind. Now that I think about it, them first class seats, one bad word and the business is done for. All that's surprising, isn't it? Don't you think people might start taking them again in time? Ah, yeah, a proud slogan. Just 10 seconds to anywhere. People used to pay daft money just for a trip that'd be over in a blink. Also, they could brag on about it over a pint. But now, first class is more like a risky investment. Who'd chill out first? Oh, good lord. Who'd chill out for a ride when you can't even count on getting out in one piece? It'd be more convenient if combat professionals were placed in a special compartment, just like color fixers. I wonder if their higher-ups have ever considered it. Reckon they'd have done it if it ever crossed their minds. The price of first-class seats is calculated to yield only the bare minimum profit, substituting for the passengers' emotions and time. After the fall of the Lobotomy Corporation, whoa, they mentioned the first game. Anyway, W Corp is desperate to cover their losses. To sustain the operations of its trains and to make the time payments owed to T Corp, they seek more extreme emotions to harvest. That's why they would rather risk the lives of their cleanup agents than lower the price of first-class seats or place passengers in another special compartment. Did you see them index proxies that turned up the other day? All of them were dead set on sitting on economy to do their bloody prescripts. Then the day before that, a thumb capo, fancy to see just behind first class since his superior was sat up there. Oh, do you mean those corpses with the jaws smashed to bits? No, that was far from boring. I actually liked it. What do you know about it? You weren't even called in for support since you're only level 2. Forget it. I'm off. Good luck putting them back together. Can't exactly help out collecting the pieces wearing this armor. Clocking out early today? Aye, been a while since I clocked out on time, Now that is something I feel in my bones. Catch you later. Confirming. Cleanup agent consents to return the congestion cleaning armor. Armor disengagement in progress. Oi, gentle with it. I ought to get my shoulders swapped for prosthesis. Don't get why this fancy armor's so bloody heavy. Congestion cleaning armors, better known as CCAs, are astronomically expensive units of equipment, authorized only for level 4 cleanup agents or above, whom demonstrate the highest job performance. There was a time when CCAs played a larger role in external conflicts, such as power struggles between wings and hunting down syndicates in the back streets, but recently they are more often used to contain the passengers of warp trains. Say I'm gonna drop by the pub on the way back and congestion detected in car 3 of train PW-24 and grab a pint. Congestion, or congested, is one of the 5 levels of danger warnings issued by W Corp to its cleanup agents. The warp train is deemed unobstructed when it's running without issues. If passenger suppression becomes necessary along with the usual cleanup, the status changes to delayed. And then there's congested, which means the rare types of enemies have emerged or passenger resistance has become severe, prompting the dispatch of multiple level 3 and level 4 agents, or a level 4 outfitted with a CCA. Level 5 agents can clear up congestions in no time, but confirming, no level 5 cleanup agents are present at the platform. They're usually tied up handling cancelled trains, a grade 1 fixer level threat, and derailed cases, which represent something far more dangerous. Congestion cleaning armor deployment authorized for level 4 agent on site. Hold on a sec, me? Hearing the announcement, the child gave a quick look of disbelief at the list of cleanup agents available at the platform, and realized that he was the only one available for the sortie. That sweet, sweet dream of heading home on time fizzled out with the blaring sound of the warning alarm. Attention, all agents. Railway congested detected. Railway congested detected. Attention, all agents. Nearest level 4 agent, please board the next train immediately and commence cleanup operations. 125 seconds until next arrival. Huh? You haven't checked out yet? You know, I'm thinking about trying out the new menu at Ham Ham Pang Pang for dinner. Go. What? Quit talking the piss out of me and just go. Unfortunately for the child, looks like it's overtime again for him today. Alright, that was a much meatier Uptie story. I actually kind of like that. We got a lot of different information. That was kind of sick. Let's see. Alright, that there. And let's go to our charge team. So he doesn't have any brats, so the card key is probably not going to be one of our best options. Oh, he's got a little bit of rupture too. Interesting. And gives some self-charge barrier. I kind of like that. He can convert into unbreakables based on life. At 3+ charge or less than... Why not have a... I guess not. Alright. Then let's not do Rhino. Let's do... There we go. He's got Electric Scream already. So that should be alright. Alright. Now, I'll be real with you folks. I think at least from the look of it, W Corp Heathcliff looks pretty cool. But we already had Rhino and Multicrack. I'm not sure we needed another charge ID for him. Although I will take it. Let's see. So this is what we're going to run. So we've got mostly charge IDs actually now. Does Rhodia have a charge ID? I don't think so. And if she does, I don't have it. Gregor as well. I don't think does he have? I could have sworn he had a charge ID, but maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna run Oops all W Core, I suppose, and then we got a little multi-crack and R core to bring up the rear if we need it. Not planning to do anything crazy. I think we're just gonna do a mirror dungeon, an easy mirror dungeon, since I don't have them leveled up to deal with level 55. That'd be a bit spooky. Let's see. Let's not make ourselves too powerful with this. So what I might do is... Oh, I forgot you can do... level it up even more. So maybe we take that off. Do that. Maybe do that. Get this? Yeah. Choosing Starlight. Where's cost plus 150? Increase current cost balance by 10%. Maybe we'll take that. It's the usual. It's usual, I suppose. So we'll do that with our charge team. I'm gonna do this. An employee does Wrath Resonance, Absolute Resonance at first, or using skill. I think I'd rather go with portable battery and flashlight. I've got barely anything else. Yeah, I can't get anything. Oh, I can get one. Nah, we'll refuse the gift. Didn't want to make us too strong early on. We've already got some good starting stuff, so. Let's go Outcast. I haven't done Outcast in a while. And it's gonna be the cool version. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Ooh, I did choose easy, didn't I? I hope I did. I might have missed that. I'm gonna find out real soon, though. Either way. Okay, it don't look like it's too crazy.
역시 본인이 직접 선별한 용기를 북돋는 영웅답 탑 5가 도움이 되었는가?
방해물을 제거합니다.
Especially the skill 3.
저녁만 선명사를 맡아버린 손님들처럼
Oh, it's Punch Man.
한 접시 근사하게
Okay.
먹어줄까?
I like Punch Man. Very Heathcliff. He's got Debtor. She needs 10.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
Dawn, that is, needs 10.
그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 내시는
공간을 뭉갠다.
빠르게 하는
I still think Root Dimension with Otis looks so cool. Plus the emotion package punch. I really. Alright, Boost Elbow Blade looks really cool too. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But really, the one W Core I've been kind of disappointed by is Ryoshu. Debtor, even with it just doesn't look as good. Like, it's cool, but it's not what I have come to expect from a cool skill 3. Don't want to use that. Yeah, we'll see if.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
자, 진정하세요. 자, 이번은 이쪽으로.
Ryoshu's skill 3 is really carried by the particle effect. Oh, I didn't get to see all of it. Just murdered him. Who knows? Maybe we'll luck out and be able to pull Cromer stage 3. We can bully her a little bit and get to see the full
정리 작업
skill
시작합니다.
3 on Heathcliff. So far, he looks cool. I like the mech suit thing too.
어쩐 일로 진짜 도움이 되는 걸 걸치고 오셨네요. 이대로 몰아넣으시죠. 내가 눈에 새겨주지. 이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요.
끌리진 않았으면 좋겠는데.
We'll say too, being able to just kind of chill with this is kind of nice too. I might, depending on how much I gotta work tomorrow, I might stream, I might not stream tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet. I would like to go to the gym, honestly. It's been a little bit since I could get to the gym. My apartment help like working on the apartment gym, so I haven't been able to get in there like I've wanted to. And your boy gotta get them thighs going. I got leg day coming up.
이상 승객을 정리합니다. 자, 이번은 이쪽으로.
That,
자,
I'm
이번은
actually doing a
이쪽으로
bit of
보고.
a challenge, self-imposed fitness challenge. I'm trying to do 100 push-ups every day in November. And so far so good. I know we're only 3 days in, but I think it's a fun little challenge that I'm going to be doing. See how well that works out for me. But otherwise, my workouts are going to be the same, I think.
다들 기운이 넘치는군. 역시
내가
본인이
눈에
직접
새겨주지.
선별한 용기를 북돋는 영웅당
And it's leg
탑5가
focus,
떠오르는가?
this program that I'm doing right now. So it's pretty taxing. And honestly, the break in the gym is kind of nuts. Simply because if you guys are gym rats, you guys know leg day it's not just a meme, it's real, man.
이제
Leg day will get ya.
도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Thing like the rest of my body though, 'cause I've been hammering that hard this summer. Because I've mentioned it before, but my chest does not like to grow. So being able to hammer that pretty hard, get some good results, pack a little bit more meat on my upper body. My back will grow like a weed regardless. But get a little extra meat on my arms as well has been quite nice. But it's needed a rest from the hard weights. So that's been good. And it's been a good opportunity to switch focus back to the legs, which have been a little bit neglected.
우리 쪽에 유리한 환경이 되었네. 잘 됐다.
There's the voice volume. Let's turn that down a little bit.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
That said, when it comes to the upper body, I'm definitely pulling them curls for the girls.
대신해요. 경기에서 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
아까의 공격으로 인해서 대상에게
Funny, I've
많은
been,
피해를 입혔어. 적들이 충분히 날
Thinking
만나는
about.
거지.
I need to find another anime or manga that's good. It's got a lot of like weightlifting and stuff in it. That'd be kind of cool. Because I was thinking about rewatching How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, or reading it, because I never actually read it. That could be kind of cool. Because I am caught up again to Starstruck It Rich, and that has been a wild ride. If you are into fighting and manga, that's a fun time. Same universe as Kengan Ashura and How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. It's got just enough for you to be like, okay, like there's actually some things in here that are legit, but mostly it is more like full-on Baki the Grappler ridiculousness, where it's just all about the crazy fights and having a mental good time with it. And it's so cool, dude. I love it so much. It's so ridiculous. I mentioned it in the stream when I came back from Japan. I'm pretty sure I did. And I'm pretty sure I showed some of them too, but I actually got physical copies of Isho Senki Starstruck It Rich, and they sit very proudly over on my bookshelf over there with a bunch of other manga. It's got some really nice art too.
정리를 시작하겠어.
Oh, Doomsday Calendar. I haven't seen this guy in a hot minute. We're gonna murder one of these clay dolls.
그래.
Speaking of art though, I very recently, as in like the past week, found
개체들의 체력이 많이 깎여나갔어.
this art by the same guy who did God Husk, and I had no idea he did it, called Vermin. And it's very much like God Husk, in that it is the artwork and kind of lore guide to a game that doesn't exist, but it is,
이상 승객을
it's for a
정리합니다.
dark fantasy setting as opposed to the kind of sci-fi body horror of God Husk.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요.
And it is so interesting to me. I am amazed by the creators' both ability to weave in reference and inspiration and make something completely new as well. I highly recommend you pick it up. I'm when I have a little bit more funds, I'm very much considering getting copies of his books on it, the two Vermis books, because I mean it is that good. I've watched many videos since finding out about it, and looked at some of the art and some of the stories in it. It's really, really interesting. I very much recommend that you go check it out. Especially if you are into dark fantasy, whether it be more topically on like manga side of things, like Berserk, obviously, or if you are more on the video game side with stuff like Dark Souls, or even just like classic pulpy fantasy, you know, like your Conan the Barbarians, your Elric, your Legend of Dread, classic old school D&D, Black Company, although a little bit more fantastical. A lot of it's a little bit more fantastical than that kind of gritty realism of stuff like Black Company, but either way, I assure you, you will not be disappointed. It is very, very slick. Ooh, we might be able to see. His full skill 3. Is that the skill 3? I think so. Actually, let me check. Yeah, skill 3. The rip space CCA. Let's see. Rip. Charge up. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's cool. That's freaking cool, dude. That finisher, that is what I want from super cool 3-star IDs. I would love for 2 stars to make more of a return, just so we have like a more baseline. But like that is what the kind of thing that I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of 3-star IDs. I want cool stuff like that. Alright, now what do we want to go on to next? We could go flat broke. Yeah, let's go flat broke. Because we should be able to get lightning rod. That'll be good. Alright. We haven't picked up... Yeah, let's go just through this pretty quick. And we actually have some blunt now on the team, thanks to a couple of the newer IDs for W Corp. It's not just oops all slash. Accept some blood, get the fleb pack. Phlebotomy pack, very good. Especially with charge IDs. Just because you can bleed your own health on charge IDs pretty rapidly. I remember having some issues with the multi-crack IDs early on because I have a bad habit of not reading, believe it or not, what skills do, and was like, alright, I know Donkey Hoden has a health drain if you don't have the right charge. What is going on with multi-crack? And I was like, oh, gotcha, okay. That said, I really, really like charge as an archetype. I think it's really fun. It's one of those like boys where the short encounters it's hard to get ramped up. But once you have either enough enemies or a tough enough boss, the way it just ramps up feels so good. It really does feel like you're charging up and just doing more and more stuff, more and more damage, more and more effects. And I really, really enjoy it. I think it's super cool. What do you think? Do we want to? Nah, we won't risk it. Ooh, the pink liquid. The pink droplet. Who shall comfort him? Ryoshu of all people. I would not want to be comforted by Ryoshu. That sounds terrifying, actually. That does not sound comforting in the slightest. Could get hammer. Nah, let's get barrier. Let's keep damage up first, and then get curriculum vitae. We've actually got some really good items off the rip, so we're probably gonna be able to tear this mirror dungeon apart. Honestly, I'd be surprised if we hit a wall. Maybe Murder on the Warp Train, Volkok. That might be a little bit of an issue, but that's more because Cassetti is a jerk with his abilities. Ooh, and I won't have multi-crack heat for the healing reduction either. But then again, we're going to be able to output so much damage by that point. And with the multi-encounter before his fight, if we pull that, we'll probably be able to bully him pretty hard.
이번엔 이쪽으로 모으고.
개체들의 체력이 많이 깎여 나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아? 이 기세로 계속 나아가 보자.
Wishing for a biscuit? Oh, I'm a bad gambler. Roja would be very unimpressed. But I will get a lightning rod for the trouble. So I suppose that's alright. Man, I don't like any of these. Ooh, we could do dregs though. Let's do dregs. I remember hating, well, I shouldn't say that. I remember that Kanto absolutely kicking my teeth in. I'm sure I've mentioned it before in other Limbus stuff. But that, oh my goodness. That was brutal. Clear All Kathy was a brutal, brutal wake-up call. That was the mythical vertical difficulty spike for me in my Limbus experience.
예사롭지가 않은데? 아주 작살을 내놨어.
공간을 뭉갠다.
Speaking of other gachas, though, when do you guys play Girls Frontline 2 or Girls Frontline 1? I like both. I'm trying to make my way very slowly through GFL 1 over the old years. It's just so grindy. But I'm playing GFL 2 and yeah, Florence's event, huh? She's something, all right. Which on one hand, she's fine, I guess. But she's definitely not my cup of tea, as it were. And part of me wants to pull for her because it'd be a support Hydro character. But on the other, I mean, I've got Springfield already. So do I really need to get another support character in the form of Florence? Probably not. And Florence kind of concerns me in general. She's just got that vibe, you know what I mean? Especially if you play through the story. I won't spoil it since it's still up. I think it's... Does it go off today? I think it goes off today. But she is she's something. In more ways than one, that's for sure. I can only imagine the rage that she gives to some of the other characters, such as 416, probably Springfield, and Grossa. I imagine they are very irritated by her presence constantly, which on one hand is very funny, but on the other, I would absolutely be as well. Annoying little pipsqueak. I say as a pipsqueak myself. I'll pick the book. Oops. I forgot that I did that. I thought that was just a move on without picking up the item option, but alright. Actually, I do want that. Bloody gadget. Quite nice. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get some healing going. Let's get this pulled up as well. And actually, we can go ahead and upgrade the bloody gadget too. I suppose I could move into poise. Poise charge is quite fun. If you can get enough that just applies, you know, X amount of poise to random ally with or without poise items, that can be quite nice. Or you can get ones that apply to allies without, or apply to random, or to different statuses like highest speed or most haste. Actually, let's not do that.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
But what I prefer, I really like Kurkumo clan. I like to run Kurkumo, and then I like to build poise off the back of them as like almost a pseudo blade lineage, but with a lot of bleed. Because I am a sucker for the bleed archetype. I really find it enjoyable.
나는 언제나 달려나갈
No,
준비가
not you, Don.
되었어.
You.
이럴 때 오시면 안 되는데.
Okay, yeah, you got plenty. Let's keep those barriers out. Struggling, really? Let's just dodge that.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Through the miracle of action economy, that guy will cease to be a problem because we can just swarm him like rats on the next turn.
개체들의 체력이 많이 깎여나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아?
Otis, stop, he's already dead. But to go back to GFL2, I've been really enjoying it. I haven't, when it first came out, I kind of fiended over it a little bit, and then now that I'm kind of chilling out and just kind of going at a more, quite honestly, reasonable pace, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I'm not worried too much about keeping up with it, and that has been very nice. I have a bad habit of going mental. Oh my god! All right, calm down, Heathcliff. Jesus. Going really hard in the paint for certain games or for certain events in games over a very short period of time. I'm kind of burning myself out a little bit, so pulling back a little bit. Just enjoying the ride with Ghost Frontline 2 has been really nice.
좋아. 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네.
It's also a bit easier as well since it's still fairly new. It's not like GFL 1 where there's so much going on and so much story. Highly recommend you check out the story of Ghost Frontline 1 though if you aren't familiar with it, because it is really cool. There's plenty of videos, there's plenty of resources and places to read it without having to play through all of it, because it is a very grindy experience, at least in my experience with the game. And then there's all the different events and side stories and stuff like that too. For instance, where you get more of a peek at my precious girl, AK-15, my princess, my gorilla. She is phenomenal and fantastic. And the rest of Defy is pretty alright too, I suppose. Alright. What to do? We could do Abyss or maybe Walpurgis. Let's do Full Stopped. Let's do Full Stop. That'd just be fun. I was worried it wasn't going to let me go there for a minute. Alright, so a lot of Pierce.
아, 정리 작업
A lot of
시작합니다.
Pierce on this. That's fine, though. We've got enough stuff built up now, as far as items go, that we can probably just blunt force trauma our way through.
저들이 기세 등등하니 잠시 경계하세.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna be able to handle this. Between all that and our recovery items, yeah. I'm not gonna be too worried.
괜찮은 공격이네요. 앞으로도 그렇게만 해주세요.
There we go. You ain't getting out of there. Not a great use of a skill 3, but it works.
어디요?
적들이 저녁만 찬 냄새를 맡아버린 손님들이야.
I'll be honest with you though, about more and more gachas that are coming out recently. I'm still not completely sold on the 3D
약점을 잘 찌른 것
art style and stuff of it. I feel like it's been very hard for the different games to differentiate themselves very well. It seems to very much go the Honkai, Third Impact, Genshin, kind of cel-shaded route, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's me being a 3D animation hater, which that might be it, but I feel like it's not. I feel like, I really feel like people need to branch out a little bit in the way that they can express themselves in 3D rather than having a more samey presentation. How that would go, I couldn't tell you. I am by no means an artiste, so your guess is as good or better than mine. But I really like stuff like Limbus, which just keep to an art style that really fits its aesthetic, and can also flip through a couple different art styles as well, rather impressively. Because that's one thing about this game in particular, is that you can absolutely say, in my opinion at least, maybe you guys have a different opinion here, but when you look at Limbus' art, you go, yeah, that fits. You can't say that about every gacha game, that's for sure. And yes, I know, some are just kind of churned out to make a profit. And hey, more power to them, but I do try and look for some artistic value, even in the soulless pit that is gacha. Ghost Frontline Tune has done a decent job, I'd say. Definitely taking a less cartoony approach to its character designs, which is appreciated. I suppose that's more the direction I would like to see. Kind of move away from that stereotypical anime style. Not as a whole. Those will always be around, right? But being able to have something that's a little bit more different, have a little bit of a expanded range as far as the art for gacha games go, I think it would be kind of cool. Specifically, I mean, relating to the 3D animation stuff. I do know there's other games such as, was it Reverse 1999, I believe, which has got some interesting art to it. I've seen some of it. I played a little bit of 1999. Played it a little bit, but it never hooked me. Every now and then, the art for it will pop up, fan art or official. I'll be like, man, that seems pretty cool.
너무 약올리신 것 같은데요.
Let's see.
기세가 확연히 달라졌어요.
Let's not use Deader. Actually, let's not use either of those. There we go.
눈에 새겨져.
Yeah, we got it.
진정하세요. 아하.
I think my cat is finally chilled out a little bit.
체력이 많이 깎여나가서 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지
Yeah, he's
않아?
taking a nap under
이
my feet.
기세로 계속 나아가보자.
Sweet little baby boy.
말통한 곳이면 딱 좋겠어. 4번 수가
I'll be honest with you guys.
방해물을
Life is tough, but if you have at all the means, get a pet.
저녁만 찾는 거
They're a lot of work.
기다리고 있네.
They're needy. They'll get on your nerves.
감사하게 먹여줄까?
They can be annoying at times, but you know what? They bring so much joy. My cat, I could not imagine being without my cat now. He just, oh my goodness. I cannot tell you guys how good it is to come home, whether on lunch break, or after work, or even just being out and about.
그렇게
You know, even if it's not work or anything crazy. Come back after a day, being greeted by my sweet little Russian blue cat.
그래도 완전 좋은 생각이었던 건
That just feels good. That just feels good. He actually does this thing. It's kind of funny. When I'm sleeping, he likes to. He'll come up to me and he'll somersault onto my face, which is kind of funny. He's been chilling out though lately.
방금 공격은
'Cause I haven't had him too long.
이대로만 계속해보면 좋을
I haven't had him too long. And he is in that kind of awkward in-between phase. He's a chunky boy. He's 13 pounds. And he's 10 months old. So he's still very much a kitten and still maturing. So he'll actually hop up in bed and lay next to me now without trying to attack my toes. Because that's also one of those things. If he sees anything that looks like it could be movement that's under a blanket, he will pounce on it. So my toes have been assaulted on many an occasion. There's no fault of my own. But he's getting to where he'll be sweet and he'll lay next to me. He'll come up right up to my face. He'll lay up next to me. And then I'll be woken up by the feeling of his tongue just licking my face. I don't know what possesses him. I don't know what possesses him to do it, but he will just decide that it's the best thing to do at 4 in the morning to lick my face. Which on one hand, I'm like, brother, please let me sleep. What are you doing? And on the other, I'm like, I love you so much. That's so sweet. And it's amazing. You bring me so much joy. But please let me sleep. Yeah, he'll sit up on the couch with me, either while I'm reading or while watching the TV, which I don't do a whole lot. I usually read on the couch, but he'll sit with me for a little bit at least. After a while, he'll be like, "All right, I gotta play. I gotta get some energy out." And I'll have to grab some cat toys and play with him a little bit. Otherwise, he will be bouncing off the walls very literally. That just scared the mess out of me the other day. Come out of it's like 2 or 3 in the morning probably, and I get up and I'm stumbling into the kitchen for a glass of water, and then what comes streaking to me out of the dark but this gray shadow that jumps off a wall? It's me in the legs and then keeps on going while meowing. Oh my goodness. Talk about scaring the mess out of me. I've rarely been more startled. Oh my goodness. There we go. We go with that.
다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자 여기구나.
You know what, I need to continue the Vampire Hunter D-books, because I've been reading those. Well, I should say rereading. Because I've got the first omnibus of the first 2 books of the series. And they're very, very fun to read. dark fantasy. It's not quite super grim dark like the Black Company, but they're certainly not. They're not PG, shall we say? They can be pretty dark, but they're also really fun. You know what I mean? Like in that pulpy, that very pulpy way. And I would recommend them. They're fairly good in English. They're also they're books, but they feel. Maybe this isn't a good comparison because I like to read a lot of obscenely long books. But they've got the feeling of a short story. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like they are overstaying their welcome in the stories. Like you get what you want from it. It's expressive enough and wordy enough that you're like, ooh, okay, I can picture myself there. You know, I can picture that in my mind's eye. Let's pick up today's expression. But it doesn't feel like it's dragging. Oh, you know we're gonna beat up bamboo-headed Kim. I'm gonna yield his flesh to claim his bones. How's it feel about that, huh? Chump. Ooh. I don't think I've got this before. This is the Death Centipede thing, right? I've got Ishmael's ego for it. Red
간단하죠.
order. Sinking. Gloom. Okay, interesting. I didn't know where that came from. I know now.
정화하고 깨끗한
Speaking
세계를
of, I need to
세우라.
run a sinking team at some point. Because I've gotten a couple more sinking IDs, and I've got enough boxes where I could get a couple more, maybe one or two more, whatchamacallits, IDs that work with sinking. So I could actually maybe put something together that's halfway decent, because currently when I run sinking, it is very mix-mashed together. Kind of an ad hoc team more than anything kind of actually set up. Or with much of a synergy. So that would be nice. Although I will say, at least I have the pieces now to be able to make something work.
이상승객을 정리합니다.
Because for a while it was rough. It was real bottom of the barrel sinking hours.
공간을 문댄다. They really did a good job with these
개체들의
clips.
체력이 많이 깎여나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아? 이 기세로 계속
And I suppose that
나아가보자.
should be expected with Merceau. His isn't super crazy, but he is an L2 agent. L4,
나는 언제나
Don's
달려나가는
L3, most of them. Oh, Hong Lu's L2. I feel like Hong Lu's animations and presentation is better than Merceau's.
뛰어들지 마.
Then L3
주
on Old Girl. Even Hong Lu. What's Hong Lu? Hong Lu's L3. I forgot he was considered an L3 in that mirror world. Whack. Also, I was not expecting, maybe not a good end ID, but definitely like a better end than a lot of Heathcliff IDs. Like that one was fairly good, and then also, what was it? It was Seven Association. Seven Association Heathcliff seems to be chilling too. Well, good for him. Good for a Mirror World Heathcliff.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Less miserable than ours.
아, 완전 과감한 판단이었어.
That's sad. That Kanto. His Kanto was so good.
공간을 문댄다. 제압 완료.
방금 공격은 좋았어. 이대로만 계속
Now, the
해보면
one
좋을
who's
텐데.
really suffering in the W Core Mirror World is Dawn. Dawn looked like she was having a rough time of it in her Uptide story. I think I've generally quite liked the W Corp Alptai stories. Except Marceau, because it was like 3 lines of dialogue, it felt like. It was very bare bones. Not a whole lot there.
간단하죠.
Or the Blade Lineage. Who can do that? Sword Lady. That would be an appropriate choice. We get the Black Ledger. But we can't really make use of that because we don't have BL IDs. Not that it matters because we're going to beat the heck out of Bamboo-Hatted Kim. Let's see. Let's see if we can fuse anything decent. Implicit contract renewal. Do that. Throw that in there. Charge type gloves. Max charge plus 10. Okay. I did not realize it gave you a plus 10 to it. That's actually quite neat. Action return. Can we enhance the gloves? We can. That's insane. Near light super battery. Interesting. That's also very wordy. Alright. Let's see what else we can get. Actually, what do you think? Should we do Rupture? Maybe we should do Rupture, because W Corp does have some Rupture stuff going on. What's this? Start if this unit has poise. I think that's worth giving up. Let's do Rupture again. Black Ledger we can't really use. I do have this already. It's a 1 though. No, get that right here. I can give up Fleb. Do we have another 2-star? We can push this over. Scarlet I would like to keep. We can get rid of this. No, you know what? I don't want to do that because that inflicts SP damage. So let's get rid of today's expression. Let's do that. Thorny wrist. Thorny whip cuffs. Freaky. Let's upgrade this. I think he's pretty fast too, so that should actually work decently well. Do a little bit extra damage. And SP damage to him. Alright, Bamboo-Hatted Kim, you big freaking nerd. I know you're here. Where's my money? Where's my Kurakumo clan? Oh my god, look at all that. Otis starts off with 40 charge. No one in the party has less than 19 charge. Oh my goodness, this is insanity. This is insanity, bro. Alright, let's immediately just go Cowabunga it is. Because, oh, we can just do that. That doesn't do well? That's fine. This is actually, you know what? We should use Electric Screaming right there. Yeah! Alright. God, it's so mean. To rock up and immediately have all that charge count on the charge energy. That's insane. Charge really has come a long way from back in the old days. I remember when there was barely any charge IDs. and you would have to gamble. You would just straight up gamble every time you used Hardcore Ishmael, because you couldn't really get the charge you needed to make her work. This was like season 1 days. That was fun though. That was fun. For a long time, Hardcore Ishmael was the only decent, or was one of the only decent IDs that I had. So I just had to field her in story content. I really didn't have a choice. So every now and then I'd hit that auto button, that win rate button, and then Mind Whip would come up, and I'd go, why is everybody on my team dead? Oh yeah, Hardcore Ishmael happened. Speaking of, when are we going to get that Hardcore Gregor ID that was teased? Who was teased as being an Hardcore Rhino unit, like Merceau. We never got that. This is from our poor boy Greg. He needs a charge ID.
우리가 우세한 상황이야. 그렇다고
Alright, let's see.
스프를 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우려는
How
건
can we
아닌데.
make the day as bad as possible for our good friend, Mr. Bamboo Heading Kim? Really wish he had. Heathcliff had skill 3 because he would just explode, and that would be really funny. Honestly, you know what I should have done? I should have switched Heathcliff into the first slot, so we get the charge glove buff. That would be really funny. That said, skill 2 also not a slouch. Jeez, man. Absolute insanity, bro.
정리가 예상보다 일찍 끝났고
Absolute
보고서는 내가
insanity.
다음 정리 전에 휴식을 취하고.
I'm surprised Otis did the most damage. And she's a good charge ID, but I thought for sure Heathcliff would be taking it. Alright, well there you have it, guys. New W Corp IDs. I haven't touched. What else is new? I haven't touched.
여기저기 돌아다니느라 발에 불날
What's the
뻔했.
other? It's a little bit of La Mancha Land, right? La Mancha Land one? Yeah, Prince of La Mancha Land Merceau. I'm probably on a pass on this one. I am not super into. I'm not super into the Blood Fiend IDs, but if that's your jam, it seems pretty cool. Seems like it's got a lot of synergy with them. Very, very synergistic IDs, that. I think I'll probably pass on him. But if you like charge, W Corp Heathcliff, man, that's a unit you're gonna want to have. Now that said, the Merceau one, is he even in the banner? He isn't. That's hilarious. Merceau, you could probably pass on. If you have Hardcore Rhino, maybe that. Honestly, Hardcore Rhino might be better. I want to be honest with you. He doesn't do a whole lot. Let's actually look at him. Let's look at this fool. Slash protection for self. A little bit of rupture. Okay, he can do a little bit of slash fragility. That's not terrible. Some defense level down on his skill 3. A little bit of coin power up. Okay, not terrible. I take it back, partially. Then his passive. What's his passive? When attacked, gain charge counts. Not really synergy. And his support is +1 rupture for the ally with the lowest speed. That's not the greatest. So if you're gonna take him, definitely field him. But otherwise, yeah, probably Hardcore Rhino would be your best bet. also just want more hardcore IDs so I can field an hardcore team. Because that'd be kind of fun. Alright. I'm going to siphon up all this enkephalin. And I think I will call it there, folks. Not a long stream, just a little hangout. But I might play some tomorrow. Probably not Limbus. Maybe I'll play some Girls Frontline. Just do some dailies and stuff like that. I might play something else. I don't know. I really don't know yet. So what I'll say is, don't count on me streaming tomorrow. If I do, it'll be a nice treat for both of us. But if not, then I will plan to stream on Wednesday. And I'd like to play more of a full game on Wednesday. Even if it's something little. Whether it's Misty as Izakai or something like that. I think it'd be a nice midweek thing to do. Spend a couple hours together. You and me. Just us. And everybody else who watches. But in any case, guys, I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with me. And I hope your week has gotten off to a good start. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Peace.